What's up, guys? Dustin McDangles back here with another video. This is the NHL Franchise Mode series with the Nebraska Bucks, guys. And before we do get into this episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content. And if you guys did actually miss the last episode, to make sure you guys are caught up to everything here at this point and where we are at here in the season, I'll drop a card in the top right hand corner for you guys to go ahead and check out that video. But we've got a pretty big episode here, guys, as we're going to be getting into sort of the remainder of this regular season. Obviously hit the trade block, see if we need to make any more trades this year to get some upgrades. I think what we're going to maybe do here this episode is possibly upgrade the backup goaltender position here, since Varlamov is currently chilling as our backup goaltender and hasn't really done much in the games he has played, which is 2 of them. He's got an 8-9 save percentage, so nothing great. Definitely want to try and upgrade that, especially here in the latter part of the season. Want to maybe get a goaltender who's a little bit younger, maybe even a little bit better overall, to give us a sort of fighting chance whenever we play our backup goaltender. So definitely going to look to get that going here, as Bishop has played the majority of our games and has pretty decent stats. So aging Bishop, again, he's almost 40 years old. He's right now our, if you want to say, Henrik Lundqvist, our gem in the rough, as he's aging at 87 years, or 87 overall, I should say. So definitely not getting any younger. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead, hop into this episode. I do kind of want to see how the boys do here a little bit more in this simulation before making any trades, as obviously some of our players have been playing very well, as the trade deadline is actually on March 1st. So I feel like give this the month of February here to see how things go before we make any drastic changes, as we actually have a big win there against the Edmonton Oilers, as well as the Columbus Blue Jackets. 2-1 victory there. So again, things are going well. Honan, he's going to be out until February 18th, which that is a big loss. Obviously, top defenseman here on the team. We just gave him that first line privilege back again. But we're going to have to put in Savari here in the lineup. And then can anybody really replace him there on that top line? It looks like Seth Jones will be able to do so, and we'll keep Savari there on that. We'll actually move him down because I'd rather have Tavares getting some playing time on that second pair, as we actually beat the Predators 3-2 in overtime. Savari, he's out until March 1st. That is a big hit. Oh my goodness, that is a big time hit, as we're now down another player. I don't think we have anybody to fill in for him. We have Satian or Blaze, and that isn't going to get the job done. So that, man, that puts a wrench here in our plan. So we got to actually go to roster moves. We actually need to put somebody in the lineup right now. Man, that's tough. Our injuries this year have been absolutely awful, as we've got to put somebody into the lineup here. Satian, he gets -3, so let's actually go to roster moves. We'll bring somebody up here from the AHL. Man, again, that is just terrible timing. Heisha, we could maybe bring up Roy here. Matt Roy, he fits all the lines, so definitely want to bring him up and get him into the lineup. So let's go back to edit lines. We'll put in Matt Roy here. And in the AHL, actually, we'll do best lines for the AHL. That shouldn't mess anything up here for the NHL, which it did not. So let's go ahead here, go back to the defensive side of things. We'll move Satian out of the lineup. We'll put Roy back in, and then once everyone is back to good health, we'll move Roy back down the lineup. He gets the +3 there on the bottom pairing, which is nice. So we got a big game there against the Avalanche, which we end up losing, and we lose to the Canucks as well, but we pick up our 30th win of the season against the Islanders. The Stanley Cup rematch, big win there against the Kings. Ahonen is available to play. We'll let him heal up a little bit more. So we get a massive win there against the Canadiens. Huge win against the Ducks, 12-2. That is absolutely insane. Volchenkov, he's going to be out for a little bit till March 2nd, so just the day after the trade deadline, so not too long. which is nice. He will miss some playing time. Vaseline, and he's up to an 89 overall. Crosby's still chilling there at the 85, and he's putting up massive points for us this year, which is awesome. Scheifele playing very well indeed on that top line as well. Does Sammy Blais fit this top line? He does, but does anyone fit it better? Sishian, he fits the second line, so we're going to have to stick with Sammy Blais here. I'd rather get that +3 on the top pair. Is there any other way? Not really any other way to get it. So we'll get Kase there, get him some first line minutes. We'll actually move Ahonen back into the lineup as well. Taking Roy out. We'll move Ahonen in as two-way defenseman. Get him back into the lineup. And he, again, back on that top pair. Move Jones there on the second pair. And we will continue on here with the simulation with a win there against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Big game here against the Blues. Can we get anything there? We actually have a 2-1 loss. So Savary is actually able to come back into the lineup. AHL injury there. Nothing to be worried about. Big win there against the Red Wings. And we are currently in the second wild card position. Big win against the Bruins. And now is the time to sort of take a look at the team right before the trade deadline. Scheifele, 67 points in 62 games, which is great. Who, honestly, if anyone is extremely underperforming, that might be somebody who will look to move out. Richie, he's been playing well. Obviously, Crosby putting up around 50 points. Rupo also putting up some good points. I mean, Marco Rossi, we could maybe look to upgrade at the right wing position on our second line, if anything, because then we'd have Kase. So we would have a sniper. We've got a power forward, and I'm trying to think a playmaker here possibly would be a good fit. Again, Rossi, he's played well for us. I don't think up to his full potential as to what he was touted. I know he's a big draft pick this year. 15 points last year as a rookie, 33 this year in 62 games played. 24 years of age. He might have some good trade value. Maybe we look to move him out to bring in a second line winger. Or maybe we even just move up Rupo and get a third line winger. So playmaker, power forward. So maybe since Crosby doesn't really fit that line, maybe we keep Rossi around or we move him down to the bottom line. It's tough here to really tell if he's going to be able to perform a little bit better. Maybe moving Rupo up, and then eventually does Kase work? Oh, Kase doesn't. So we would have to have Rossi up on this line to get that +3 again. He's going to be a playmaker, so we would need to bring in another playmaker on that right wing for sort of a second line winger. Let's check out Varlamov. He's only played 2 games, not playing much. Bishop basically getting all the action here this year. So maybe we don't even need to worry about bringing in a backup goaltender this year, just because, again, Varlamov most likely will not play. So I'd say let's look for a second-line right winger. I also want to check and see if there's any restricted free agents still on the block. Sometimes you'll see that, and in this case it looks like they are all taken care of. Perlini, it looks like he's actually up on the trading block, which is kind of crazy. Man, unrestricted free agent, can maybe bring him in. Don't know enough about him really to sort of bring in an 82 overall player that we don't really know about. So we'll leave him there, and we will sim here to the trade deadline. Look to get an upgrade here at the right wing position on our second line, and we're actually going to have to send somebody down here since everyone is sort of back to good health. And I think we're going to send down Roy Savary. He's down to a 76, so let's actually send him down, and he might be picked up off of waivers, which would be interesting. Let's go buyer. We're going to be a buyer here for the trade deadline. We'll enter the trade deadline here, and it looks like Savary might have been picked up. So Quinn Hughes on the block. That's kind of crazy. Tolovin, big hit on the salary. Would be crazy maybe to try and bring him in. Jacob DeBrusk, left winger, 29 years old. Tolevin might be the better play, but DeBrusk, 88 overall, 29 years of age. He only has 1 year left on his deal. Brad Marchand might be a nice little play to make. Toffoli also on the block. Timo Meier on the block. So definitely a lot of talent here. Ooh, Nick Suzuki on the block. Definitely want to check him out. Playmaker. Does he fit any of our lines is the real question. Forward line 2, Nick Suzuki. And the real question here is, what is Rossi's trade value? It is not that high. And we would actually be over the salary cap, so that most likely isn't going to work. Man, this is going to be tough to try and swing anything here with the trade value crazy high. And Suzuki's got one of the lowest trade values. Man, it's going to be tough to maybe get somebody in there. Again, we're going to need a playmaker, which he is, and maybe could be a sort of a future piece to really build around. So maybe we do throw in, not Rupo, throw in Rossi here again, playmaker as well, if I'm not mistaken. If we can actually take a look here at this, Marco Rossi, playmaker, so playmaker for playmaker, and then we would need to add in somebody else, and that is sort of where we're having trouble here, to maybe get somebody else in there. Xander Anderchuk, he was our sort of diamond in the rough that we sort of found this past draft. Holmes could be somebody we could maybe move. He's 21 years old, elite low right winger. Again, that gets the trade value in the right direction. We're still over the salary cap, so we would need to maybe throw in a pick here, possibly, and we've got some to work with. We've got a couple third-round picks, so maybe this Colorado Avalanche third-round pick, and if they are willing to retain any of his salary to maybe get things in the right direction, and that could be enough here to get this to go through. Rossi, Holmes, third-round pick for Nick Suzuki, playmaker for playmaker. They each have a sort of... Suzuki has a year left on his deal, so that might be tough to get things going. They're going to decline that, and I don't want to give up a second-round pick, so maybe throw in one more pick here. Let's throw in our fourth-round pick to tell things in the right direction, and that trade is accepted, so we get a big piece here to the puzzle. And maybe now we look to maybe upgrade our backup goaltender position. I know we weren't thinking of doing so, but I do want to at least take a look here at the goaltenders. Man, that goalie's potential is crazy high, absolutely crazy. So for Varlamov, 81 overall, $2 million off the books. He does only have 1 year left. Take a look here at some of the teams. Who do we got for goaltenders? Jones, not going to cut it. Aaron Hill, he's absolutely bonkers with the price tag on him. Grubauer, not what we're looking for. Let's take a look here. Nothing in Buffalo. Olamark, ooh, he was actually traded. I believe he was actually with the, I'm drawing a blank, Nashville Predators. Hellebuck, probably obviously out of our price range. We're looking for a solid backup goalie, and I'm not seeing it. And Colorado has no goaltending whatsoever. Mrazek, his price tag's a little pricey for a backup goaltender. Anyone on the market or anyone have a backup goaltender? Lindgren there, he's 32 years old. This Sean Skinner kid, Stuart Skinner, he's had a decent year in a backup role. It looks like 27 years old. He only has 1 year left on his deal. That could be something we could look to do. Look at Bobrovsky. Look at that. They have two goalies. Two goalies making $19 million. That is absolutely insane. Crazy stuff there. Tucker Tynan here, 23 years old. That actually might be a nice shout. He is 82 overall. It is a bump in overall by 1. cheaper deal. He has 2 years left on his deal actually as well. And maybe if we throw in a draft pick in this instance, maybe a later pick if anything, throw in a 5th round pick, and I think that should be enough. Trade's actually rejected, so let's maybe throw in a higher 5th round pick, see if that goes through. That trade is also rejected. This Tucker Tainen, definitely interesting. Would like to maybe try and snipe him for the squad. Change this to a 4th round pick, and that trade is also rejected. That is crazy. Might need to throw in another maybe prospect to sort of sweeten up this deal here. We've got a couple here in the pipeline. I'm thinking this Lamar kid might be the ticket here to get this in the right direction. Trade's rejected. Let's go ahead, throw in a not a third round pick. Let's go ahead and throw in the 6th round pick. That should tilt things in the right direction. We get the Tucker Tainen there as our new backup goaltender, and I think we don't need to make any more changes to the squad, so let's actually exit the trade deadline here, and we'll take a look here at the squad and sort of see what we can really build here with the acquisitions of Suzuki and Tainen between the pipes. So here is the new lineup, guys. Again, once he is back, Volchenkov will go on that top pair, which will actually still get the +3. Kase down here to the second pair, which would still keep that +3, and then sort of the bottom lines are still remaining the same, actually, as I now take a look at it. Appleton, Roy, Volchenkov. So that is sort of how it stacks up right now, and I'm trying to wonder if maybe we swipe this winger here with Appleton to see if that will get things still +1 there on that line, which it does. So that is nice to see there. Again, defense still looking pretty stout. And then we've got Bishop, and then Tainen, he's actually an 81, so sort of lied there. They said he was an 82, but it is what it is. He is younger, sort of got that older goaltender out of there, and sort of we'll continue on here now with the simulation. I actually want to take a quick peek here at Suzuki and see how he's been playing this year. Definitely intriguing here to get a top player into the lineup. Young gun here, 26 years old. Not having the best of years, -16 he was with Montreal, and they're not having the best of seasons, so definitely want to give him a run here with the Nebraska Bucks and see what he can do as we get into the remainder of the simulation of the regular season. As you guys can see, their standings, we are in 3rd position in the division, still a ways out of first place by a mile. I don't think we're going to be catching the Blackhawks anytime soon. It looks like Volchenkov, we're actually going to be able to get back into the lineup here. It says he is back to full health, so let's get him back into the lineup. Ooh, Vasalainen on the second line gets a +5 with Suzuki and Byfield. That might be the play. And then sort of keep Volchenkov, Scheifele, and Kase there on that first line. That's actually nice. I don't like bumping him down, but getting the +5, that bumps Byfield and Suzuki up. Maybe, I was going to say, if maybe we can move Crosby up, that would be sick. Tartukin, he only gets +3, so that's actually sick. Suzuki, Byfield, and Vasalainen there on that second line with Volchenkov, Scheifele, Kase on the top line. They get the +3. We get the +5 here on this line, which is awesome. So we're going to stick with that here in this simulation. See how things go. Scheifele, are you kidding me? He's been injured. I was just about to say, don't be too long. He's only out until March 9th, so he's not going to be out for too long. I do want to see here who we could possibly put in his place. And we're going to have to put a winger in right now. I don't want to put Satian in. Let's put Sammy Blaze here on that top line. Only gets the +1. Suzuki. We'll move Suzuki here on this top line, actually. Let's move Crosby up to that top line to get the +3, which is nice. So we'll continue on here with the sim again. Obviously, what's his face? Scheifele will be back soon, which is great. We'll give him a few more days here to fully recover. So we get a win there. Sort of AHL injuries there, nothing to worry about. Big win there against the Dallas Stars, which was great big game here against the Sharks. Kashe's been out. He's out till April 13th. That is a huge injury right there, guys. April 13th, so it looks like he'll be back just in time for the playoffs. Man, that sucks. We're going to have to let's put Scheifele back in here on the top line. Right now, that's only a +1. Let's move Crosby down here. That's still only a +1. Can we maybe move Rupo up? That's still only a +1. So we'll rock with this for now. Yeah, we'll keep Suzuki there on that top line. We'll roll with that here. Unless Hintz works on this line. He does not. So we'll work with that for now. Again, I want to keep that +5 as long as possible here on that second line, which is good stuff. Let's take a look here. It's scratched. Again, Kashe out here for a big playoff push is really going to suck. I still feel like the team will be able to perform well here. Why is Sammy Blaze first line power play centerman? That is a head scratcher. We'll move that around. Let's put Suzuki in there. And then we'll put our boy, where is he? Tavares here on that first PP. Can we move things around maybe to get a bump? Maybe get Volchenkov here on this top pair. Maybe move Vasalainen on this top pair. And it looks like that's as good as we're going to be able to get that first power play. And then we've got some 3-on-3 here to take care of. I don't know why Blaze is even on there. So we'll move some things around here. Obviously, so here we are back in the simulation, guys. Massive win there against the Sharks, 9-1. Back-to-back games here against some Eastern Conference opponents, and we actually split that series, still getting points out of every game. Big game here up against the Ottawa Senators, and we win that one 3-0. So it looks like the team is responding well to those moves we actually made, which is great to see. Big 2 wins there in a row, so we've got a 4-game winning streak right now. The big game against the Minnesota Wild, we end up losing that one, so things are looking good here for the playoff picture. Shootout win there against the Winnipeg Jets as we get into this last month here. Back-to-back games once again against Eastern Conference opponents, and we get the win there against the Washington Capitals, as it looks like we have actually already clinched a playoff position, so we will simulate here to the end of the season, which is great. It's just a matter of where we're going to end up. Rupo Hintz, he's going to be out here for a little bit. We'll just let the head coach replace that. He's only out until that last game of the year. Volchenkov is out until April 27th. That's a massive hit on the lineup, guys. Obviously, we'll be able to get Kashe to sort of fill in for his spot, but that is a huge hit on the lineup. Oh my goodness, that is just a absolute dagger. Absolute dagger to the heart. Man, and we don't have anybody scratched to really fill in. Man, and I don't want Roy. Why is Roy in there twice? So we've got a sort of hybrid lineup right now with some injuries and everything, but that should be no problem. Obviously here still trying to fix a little bit of the lineup as we've got that all squared away and taken care of as we just look to get through the rest of the regular season, guys. Again, we've already clinched the playoff position, so not too worried about positioning as we get Hintz and Kashe back for the lineup. We'll save them here for the playoffs as we're losing sort of the rest of the way, it looks like here, which kind of sucks. Ahonen's been injured. He is out until, oh man, he is out for a while. So at least we're able to sort of finish the season sort of limping in here to the playoffs. And it looks like Scheifele led the way in points for the team. We finished off with 100 points. As I do want to just advance a day here to sort of see where we're going to end up, and it looks like we finished here in 4th position in the division. We're just shy of getting third place, so we're going to be away at the Winnipeg Jets, possibly, or somebody else. I'm not too sure. We'll see in just a moment, but take a look here at team stats to see how the season has gone. Scheifele, Crosby, Vasilinen. Man, Seth Jones with a great year. Good stuff from him. Byfield, really a breakout season for him. 62 points in 72 games. Suzuki coming over, he's really stepped it up. That is awesome to see. Let's take a look at his stats for the year with us. 24 points in 19 games. That is a crazy great acquisition. Hence, Volchenkov had a little bit of a down year, but a ton of players there with 50 or more points. Kase with a down year, so maybe look to move him at the start of next season, especially at the $7 million sort of price tag, so maybe look to open things up there. But again, limping here into the playoffs is going to be tough. Man, that's going to be really tough here. Let's actually take a look here at our makeshift lineup that sort of barely got us through the end of that season. And we're going to move some guys out here. So let's go ahead, sort of fix some of this lineup right now. As sort of, I want to get your thoughts here on this season, guys. How do you think we sort of finished that up? I thought we played very well. Let's get Suzuki here on the second line. Byfield, Vasilinen. That is a sick first or second line, I should say. And then let's get Rupo back into the lineup here, two-way forward here on this. Let's get him up a line on the third there with Crosby and Ritchie. So we've got pretty much all the lines back together again. We'll be missing our boy. I'm drawing a blank on his name for some reason right now. Volchenkov here due to injury, and we'll also be missing Honan, which kind of sucks. So kind of want to start with Vasilinen here on that top line to start these playoffs. And I'm trying to see if anybody could get a big plus here to this second line, but it looks like that isn't going to be the case. We could move Blaze. We'll work with Blaze there to get that +3 at least on that second line here to start the playoffs. So 2 +3s. Eventually, Volchenkov will be back. We'll be able to get that +5 back on our second line. And in the defense, we've got a weird lineup issue in which I'm going to have to take care of here after this episode because it will involve doing best lines, and then I'll mix things up, and we'll have to get that taken care of. I do want to quickly take a look here at our goaltenders. Bishop, obviously great season, 48 wins, pretty good stuff, only 4 shutouts. And then Tucker Tynan, he's played great, 16 games, 8 wins. He's got a 9.18, so 2.67. He has gone up an overall, which is nice to see. Goaltenders here in the AHL. I wonder how our AHL team did. I want to take a look at them, see how they ended up. It looks like they lost sort of their record for regular season wins. They're going to make the playoffs at least, which is cool to see that, guys. I do actually want to take a look here at the record books. This is something we haven't really done. We'll first take a look here at the NHL. Obviously, this is something we haven't done yet this series, Nebraska Bucks. And here we are, guys. Points all-time, sort of stats and everything. Kase leading the way in points. He's got 340 for the franchise. Kase also leads the way in seasons and assists. So crazy. Games played. Brett Pesce. Penalty minutes. Volchenkov with most penalty minutes. Crazy to see that. Bishop with the sort of goaltender stats there, at least for the current. Ranta all-time with shutouts. Volchenkov with goals. So that is cool stuff there. Take a look at the NHL. No one is even sniffing getting close to those top guys. Marc-Andre Fleury, actually, most games played. Most goals, it looks like... Man, it looks like Ovechkin didn't really catch up. He sort of slouched off there a little bit. Halak there actually moved up most games played. That's crazy to see. Most points, no one's moved up there. Joe Thornton actually in third for assists. Marc-Andre Fleury up to third for wins. And it looks like nothing else is really changing. Most 50-goal seasons, Ovi got the third. and nothing else really changing there. Let's take a look here at rookie for the NHL. Anyone here new on this? It looks like no one really new on this list. Crazy to see that. Let's take a look at franchise rookie, at least for us. Volchenkov all time. Not too terrible there. Let's take a look at season stats, games played, penalty minutes. Lautner leads the way. Scheifele with points. Bishop with wins. Let's take a look here at games. Saves. Sparks has the record for most saves in a game. Sammy Blaze has the record for most assists. Volchenkov for most points, and then goals for Strome. He has 3. So cool sort of stats there to sort of close off this episode, guys. Again, we're going to be starting here the playoffs, which I actually want to take a look here, simulate up and see the playoff tree here in our games. We're going to start off against a tough opponent with the Calgary Flames, so going to be a tough one here in the first round. Let's take a look here at this playoff tree to close out this episode, guys. Man, going to be tough. We've got the Flames, Oilers, Kings. We've got Blackhawks, Avalanche, and then the Stars and Jets. Over in the East, we've got Flyers, Hurricanes, Penguins, Devils, Panthers, and Sabres, and then we got the Lightning and Islanders. So going to be crazy stuff here in these playoffs. Hopefully we can find a way to limp through here and make a run. But that's going to be it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like on this video. I hope you guys have a good one. And as always, stay dusty.